done a couple practice sessions. I did some with my brother, and he actually picked it up pretty quick too. He's about 8 years younger than I am, but he did really good.
Okay.
And I actually spent my initial intention was to spend 3 days inside the blindfold. I ended up going 24 hours, and that was kind of a cool experience.
Tell me what happened.
Well, after a while, like I wouldn't say they're like hallucinations, but they were like I was seeing things, like kind of just like daydreaming, seeing things, and that was kind of what I wanted to like get the mind, creating those images for me.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I'd like to do it again, probably a longer period, but definitely gave me a new appreciation for people that are actually blind and, maneuvering around the house, eating, simple things like even just using the bathroom.
Wow, right, exactly. So, I mean, the Indonesian army, I mean, that's what they do is they put somebody in a darkened room, and I think they have to find the number written on a wall to get out or something, like the key to get out. And there's no food. So maybe they have water, but it forces your brain to do what it's got to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this is the whole issue with this ability is that we don't really need it in our society. And by, doing something like what you've done, that would tend to promote it and would bring it out. So that's pretty cool. So you know where everything is around your table, right?
Yeah, so I've got color paper. I've got colored shapes on these small squares, some letters, some larger kind of basic shapes.
Okay, so why don't you put your mask on and get yourself reused to the dark. This one was one that Marina from Russia showed me. I want you to go through your body and tense up all your muscles. So just go right through your body, your arms, your legs, your feet, your toes, your abdomen, your chest, your shoulders, arms, biceps, muscles, just tighten them right up as tight as you can. And then relax, let everything go. So be the passive observer. And by being passive, just follow my directions. You're totally safe emotionally and physically. You're physically located at your own home. Emotionally, we're not going to do anything that's harmful to your mind, body, or soul in any way. I've gone through all this stuff myself. I'm still here. Everything is totally fine. So there's no harm in any of this at all. The idea is to just be a passive observer and follow along with the instructions, because the following along aspect is also a right brain thing. It's the left brain that will say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this instead. And it fights and argues and disputes, gets into conflicts. It does all those things. That function of the left brain, our ego brain, is not helpful in this context. It stands in the way. So we have to disable that. It's impossible to totally disable it, but what we can do is we can distract it and we can move away from it as much as possible. Just grab a color. That's great. And put the other colors out of sight. I'm going to ask you to go to that sheet in your left hand and look at the color and report back to me, what is that color? But just look for that color and say to yourself, I can see that color. What is that color? And just say it very nonchalant to yourself. I can see that. Go ahead.
Is it orange?
You know what? I'm going to give that to you. It's red, so it's close enough as we get started. You just have to warm up your seeing a bit. Go through them one at a time, and I'm going to pick one out. Okay, that one. Grab that one.
Is it a circle?
I want you to show me what's on the bottom of the pile. Okay, it's a circle. So this is a typical phenomenon. Is your brain says, I've done this before, I'm going to go over to the pile and tell you what's on the bottom of the pile. So that's a circle. Okay, so you got that. It's really trying to get you to focus your attention what's in your hand. Yesterday with Wendy, when I was practicing, I kept getting what was on the bottom of the pile, one after the other. And
Wow.
So it's like, Rob, you know, like in the classroom, stop looking out the windows, look at the board right here. We're in class, you know.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You've already done a lot of these exercises, so your brain is trying to show me that it can do more, okay? That it can actually see under a pile. There's many different things it can do, and while we're practicing, you're going to see it all come out over time, and it will do this. But I'm trying to keep you to, you know, trying to get you to the point where you can focus it on what's in front of you, not looking around at everything else that is not your intention. I'm going to go quickly. First that one, then this one. Going very quickly. Okay. It's
Green?
important. Yep, it's green. Yes, green is the color. Yes. Now also, I'm taking another color and alternating it with that same first color. Okay, it's important that there's motion, there's speed, because your right brain can move very fast, actually.
Red?
At the beginning, red and orange are confused. So this is orange, and I'm just going to pick one color and move it in front of the screen very fast. What are you seeing? Tap your mask with your fingers. Yep. And as you do that, look at the computer screen. What's that color?
Purple?
Okay, good. It's actually blue, but blue and purple are confused at the start. Okay, that's great. Just relax yourself, Scott. And we might try something very unusual here, just because I know that your brain is kind of moving around and wanting to get a bigger challenge. I've put all the other colored cards away. I'm going to cover them so that when you come to my location, you cannot see the card except for the one that's on the table. And at the present time, I'm not going to show the screen because you'll see it. What I want you to do is go up from your house. Visualize yourself going up from your house. Visualize yourself going across Michigan, okay, and across the border at Port Huron into Canada. And visualize going down the highway about an hour and 15 minutes to just northeast of the city of London. It's about 380,000 people. Visualize yourself dropping down out in the country to an area just northeast of a little village of Thorndale. Now, you'll see a farm, and there's a highway, there's a river going under the highway, and it curves around. As it curves around, my house is right there, but that whole property on the corner is my farm, where you can imagine seeing paddocks, you can see some buildings, a silo, and then just south of that is my house, and it's got a driveway which comes in a gate and goes back out another gate, and the house is right there. What I want you to do is drop down into that house, and I'm actually set up in the bedroom here in a quiet spot, so it's the biggest bedroom of the house. I'm set up with a TV tray with a computer, and on the TV tray or table next to me is a color, and let it appear.
Green?
Yep, perfect. And I'm going to show the screen here. Okay, you got it. Now, what I'm trying to show you is that your right brain is so far ahead of me, it wants to give much more than what I'm asking. Your right brain is very smart and very fast, and it's kind of difficult here because Wendy and I went through this too, where it wants to do so much more than what we're asking. But we have to rein it in, and we have to focus it. So what I want you to do, take the first one and say that's a 0. That's a 0. Tap it. Okay, now we move to the next card. That's a square. That's a solid square, so I want you to trace it and just keep saying to yourself, that's a square. I know that to be a square. That's a solid black square. Okay, so that it goes into your right mind and your mind starts to recognize that that's a square. Your left brain already knows and has known since a kid. But your right brain needs to be trained right now. Let's move to the next symbol. Okay, that's a plus or a cross. So just turn it back and say that's a plus or a cross. I know that to be a cross. I know that's a plus. Trace it back and forth a few times. Move it around so your right brain gets its attention. And let's move to the next symbol. Yeah, and now turn it towards yourself. And that's a triangle. Trace it. Okay. That's a triangle. I know that's a triangle. I've seen that many times. I know that to be a triangle. Okay, so let's shuffle the cards and just grab one at random. Okay, big smile. Okay. They say that if you can still your mind, it's like the surface of a lake. It reflects the universe. So you can let go of everything and be still and allow your intention, your beam of intention, to go out to that card and see if you even catch parts of that image.
So circle?
Yes, it is. Good work.
Can I try to tell if it's outlined or solid?
Okay, so do you want to see if you can do that?
I think it's solid.
Yes, it is. So you got two things there. Perfect. So grab another one at random. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, it's facing toward me. Face the others down. Once again, still your mind. That thinking side, that ego side, is of no use in this ability at all. Have an intention that you want to see, but just let go. And look for an image that may show up. You might even see just a corner or part of the image. And just allow it.
Is it a triangle?
Yes, it is. Good work, Josh. Just one more. That'll work. And just totally let go, Josh. Be a passive observer. Turn the ego off. Turn the intellectual side off. All the ideas that are coming to your head, anything that might be coming, just let it go. It's not important here. The only thing that's important is you just observe. You be totally relaxed and observe. And report to me what you're observing. That's it. Simple as that. That's all it is. Send your beam of attention out. Send your consciousness out to that card.
Is it a circle?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And take your time and tell me whether it's a closed circle, like a full black circle that's a solid circle, or if it's an open circle.
Oh, open circle?
Yes, it is. It's open. Good work. I think we're done for today, Josh.
Okay.
You're really at a tough point right now because you've had a taste of it, and your brain wants to do so much more, but how do we focus? Because if you let it run random, it's going to go all over the place. It's going to go to your friends' houses. It's going to go downstairs at your house and do all these wonderful things, but that's not what we're asking it to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So
keep it on focus.
You're right at this stage where, the first couple of times there, you've seen the videos, you saw how well you did, but your brain is saying, I can do more than that, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah. I think I'll probably also need to practice a lot more just on my own, and maybe, like every single day.
Yeah. Well, it's good if you can have somebody help you do it, and get them to add variety. Get them to change it up to things that you're not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like playing games. If you play the same game all the time, you get tired of it. Okay.
Right.
That's why they have different levels in these video games. Because as soon as you reach a level, that's it.
Switch it up. Yeah.
They've got to give you another challenge, right? So this ability is exactly the same way.